Okay, so now before we start, don't be scared. This is what we're trying to actually achieve, right? We're trying to achieve a list that looks like this, and then when we click on that, we now get our recipes. So first of all, um, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a list of design resources, which I got from my designer. I'm gonna add this to the list of resources that you can download for free, and then so what is here are PNG files, or basically PNG images that you can use to style your applications. So we're gonna find out how to do this. So we have different things like a leather background, a leather button, and others. It's probably easier to just show you how it works. So basically, what I'm going to do is add all these files to my resources folder. So that's the resources folder. Okay, then we add this to our project. So if I go to resources and I say add files to Foodie, let's browse to the resources project. So we'll just add everything for now, but it's not everything we're actually going to use. But I'll take off the unneeded ones later. Okay, so where do we start with? Let's start with our cell. So our cell, we want to have a nice orange background, a frame on that picture, and then some information about that recipe here. So what we're going to do is to start, let's put in a image view. So this image view is going to be the background, and then this is going to be the size of the view itself. So let's find out how large this view is. This view is it's about 387 wide. Actually, that should be 320 because that's how wide the iPhone is. And then so it's 86 high. So we'll do the same thing here. Start from 0, 320, 86. And then we're gonna make the image of that the background of our list. That is called list background, I think. List item. So that's a list item. So now this is basically blocking all our views now. So we would have to send this to the back. This should be the first view in our cell. So I click on that and I go to editor, arrange, send to back. So basically that puts it behind all the other views in here. So now we would need to add a frame for our dish. The frame is a, let me look for it. It's an image here, list mask it's called. Let's open that. So what it is, it's just a white rectangular image with a couple of drop shadows on the side there. So we're gonna drag another image view. Right, let's make that a good, okay, yeah, 77 by 77, that looks good. And then let's call that list mask. So that's the image frame. Oops, I've moved the wrong file. So what we want to do now is to make this image a little bit smaller than that. So if we pull that in there and try to resize it, so let me see if I can get this right. So this, I think the width has to be a little less. The list mask image is in front of my dish image, so I need to send that to the back as well. Oh, is that done? Oh no. Yep, that looks more like it. Okay, so we're almost there, but I think we need to add some information here. So later we're going to be using an API from Punchfork. The Punchfork API gives us some information about, it's going to give us some information about the Facebook shares and then how many times it has been shared on Twitter. So let's add that information as well in our application. So what we want to do is put another image view. And let's have the background of that called country. In the previous iPhone, that's called country because in the previous iPhone app, that was giving us the type of the dish. But for now, we're gonna use use some different information. So let's resize that. And then add a label. So let's just say this was shared 89 times on Twitter. So that will have the value 89. Okay, so let's leave it at that. I mean, we can keep on tweaking and tweaking as we go along, but I mean, there has to be an endpoint. Let's make that white. It's going to be last tweak. All right, that looks better. Okay, so now we've got our cell, which all we need to do now is run the application and let's see how that looks. Okay, that's it. So now we have our recipes in the list, and I think that looks really nice. So here we go. We have our nicely styled list with a frame around the image, the title of the dish, and also here the number of times this has been shared on Twitter, for example. And if we click on that, we still have our boring detail, but we'll come to that later. So you will see here that we have our navigation bar, which is still the default blue. So what we want to do is make that a leather theme. So we need to customize our navigation bar. So that's what we're going to do in the next video.